talk about love. What I found out when I first got married was, I've been married for 11 years now, and when I first started dating my wife, I did it all wrong. I took her to my favorite places. I took her to my favorite restaurant, which would have been at that time Smoky Bones, which doesn't exist any longer. I'm sort of sad about that. There's one in Columbus. I took her to, I think it was probably a 007 movie, something that had a lot of action, a lot of shooting, a lot of suspense, which I found out now that my wife, that totally makes her anxious and she has to take breaks from that sort of thing. When we watch it at home, she has to take like an hour break in the middle of the movie. It drives me crazy. So I approached it all wrong, and I even, had my iPod and I was playing her all my favorite songs, which happened to be, we're good on that. We like the same music. What I should have done was taken my dad's advice, and he said, all you have to do is find out what they like and just try to make that happen. That's it. That's the whole thing. What I should have done was found out that her favorite restaurant is some sort of vegetarian Asian thing that there's lots of food that I don't understand and I've never seen before, and just try it and go with it, And then she would have rather gone to a museum or an art museum or take a walk in nature, do some sort of poetry reading thing, and we would have been still good on the music, which would have been a Bob Dylan set list. So now I realize that, I approach love with my love identifiers, the things that I love, and what I needed to do is find out what her love identifiers were and try to make that happen. But the problem is what if you get in a relationship where you're doing all this work and trying to love the person with their love identifiers, and they're not doing it back, it's unrequited love. And the thing is that if you're lucky and you find that right person, they got your back. They take care of you, and they know what those things are, and they know more and more what those things are. And when we approach our relationship with God, I'm a worship leader, and I think about this all the time about what worship really is, and what it means is that we try to give God our affection, and we try to show God that we love Him. But we approach our relationship with God as the church very often just like that first date that I did with my wife, where we try to love God with all the stuff that we love. Like, here, God, these are the songs that we love. This is the kind of building that we like. This is the skits that we like. This is the kind of preaching style that we like. This is all the stuff that we like. Here you go. We love you. But the thing is if you look at what God's love identifiers are, it's way, way different. And it's not hard to find. If you read through the scriptures, He tells you what His love identifiers are. His love identifiers are things like this. He says, if you love me, you'll feed my sheep. If you love me, you'll obey my commands. If you love me, you'll take care of the widows and the orphans. If you love me. It's not hard. He doesn't make it hard to find. It's right out there in the open. But yet, if you look at the way we try to court God, it's not that at all. And then, if you look at the flip side of that and you think, well, what if we're doing all this work and we try to show God our love for Him, and we go on His love identifiers, how's He going to take care of us? Well, it says that God knows the desires of your heart, and He wants to give you the desires of your heart. But the problem is we think about that in such a low level, a earthly level. We think that the desires of our hearts are things like a good job, a security, a great family, a loving wife, health, maybe youth, longevity. We think in terms like that those are the desires of our heart. But the thing is, He knows that there's a deeper desire, a deeper need, and He's already taken care of it. And the need was a Savior. He knew that our deepest need, the deepest desire of our heart, is that we needed forgiveness and grace and mercy. And He took care of that on the cross. And the perfect final covenant on the cross. It's a finished work, and He's already taken care of it, so we don't have to worry about it. So I just kind of want you to think about that as we finish out tonight.